Welcome back, everybody, to the weekend show where I'll be doing update and technical analysis on big mega cap stocks. So, before we get started, please smash that like button, and 150 likes on this video would be greatly appreciated, guys. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Now, let's talk about the market. You can see Dow Jones was up over 600 points on Friday. S&P was up close to 100 points. We got Nasdaq going up 337 points, up 2%, and Russell going up 1.5%, and VIX getting crushed down to 37.36 there. Now you can see some news came out over the weekend that Trump is not actually putting tariff on computers, phones, and chips. So guess what? You're gonna see a massive rally already on weekend. Dow is up, and also Nasdaq is up on weekend Wall Street. You can see that. Now, talking about this, let's talk about fear and greed index, guys. And this is where people get it wrong all the time. It was reading at 4, right here, pretty much 0, and now still at 13. So there is still lots of upside potential here in the market. Another thing I want to talk about once again here, you can see just a couple days ago, and you probably saw that before, that a lot of people on 4th of April, 3:14 p.m., where market was down big time. And what this is what I said again, day like today won't come every day, once in a lifetime opportunity. Have seen many sell off in my life, so still time to buy and go long. People cry for $5 dip, spy down $28, and rest is your call. I'm lock and loaded. Same people from here will ask and chase at 555. Now, this is my X account. If you're on there, I do post a lot of things, including some of these dark pool orders and stuff, some charts and my videos. You can definitely give me a follow, and there is no charge, nothing like other people. Now, couple more things, guys. We have earnings coming up this week, starting with big banks, and then we also have big names like ASML, we got TSM, we got Netflix on earnings. So some big names, and then the following week, there will be more earnings. Now, I also want to share some trade ideas here in this video that we had before, and we're just doing really good in the market. You can see right here, and this was the position that I took beginning of March. I sold after $16 up from my entry on LMT, which is 480 calls, and we still have plenty of time, and it's already in the money, guys. You can see sold all. This is a monster winner LMT here. That was actually Friday. Right after 1 p.m., I actually sold and got out completely. Walmart calls right here. You can see that's another one. Walmart was down. We got 95 calls, June 20th expiration, 170% on that play. And you can see right here, Walmart added more. And then finally, we took profit and we got out pretty much out of it here on Walmart. That was on Friday as well. Walmart shares on April 2nd, that big sell off picked up 400 shares. Also, that was a big winner. So, a lot of these plays are paying, and people that are serious about trading, guys, you can see right here, even someone who joined about a week ago still making money in this market. And especially these people are not unpaid members. All these people are paid members. And again, Linda here hitting out of the park for the week, 16 grand. You can see right here. We got another big one right here, $2,800. Lots of things right here. Look at this, 200% on Walmart. 200%. He got a little bit more out of the money calls, but still was managed to get 200% on that play. And here's Supra hitting out of the park once again. You can see I saw he actually made 45 grand and ended up making almost $72,000 for the week. Huge win. And you can see these are mine right here. From LMT and Walmart, huge win on that play. So all these trade ideas, and only people that are actually serious, definitely that link will be down below in the description for Patreon. And if you go for that annual membership, you do save 20% on that annual membership. Otherwise, it's actually $100 a month, which is absolutely nothing compared to the trade ideas that I post on these channels. Swing trade ideas, daily trade ideas. You get Patreon support pretty much me staying behind my Patreon members all day, yeah, live trading. A lot of these expected moves, weekly expected moves, daily expected moves. My chart, lots of things comes with it when you go for that, annual membership. And 1 month is not enough because you can see a lot of these swing trade are longer term. So if you get in for 1 month and you take a trade, I'm not gonna be selling, probably holding, and then what are you gonna do? You're gonna get out of the Patreon, and then what? You're pretty much lost. So it's not worth it, and that's why it's the best thing to do is possibly go for that annual membership, and it's worth every penny. Tesla stock was actually flat on Friday, and we do have earnings coming up on the 22nd of this month. And we got this doji type candle, so inside day and a doji here, and we came back down to 240, not quite there, but close to it. 241 low for the day on Friday, went back up to almost 258, got a rejection, and pretty much trading inside this range. So what I would say here on Tesla, guys, we still have time where this thing can go up and retest possibly 280 to 290, this trend line here before earnings. Now, if this thing shoots up going into Monday morning, Tesla likes to run Monday and gets over 258 with that kind of catalyst that is coming out from Wall Street and Trump himself, and you can see the market is up already. And if this thing wants to move, 258 breaks, you can easily see 280 to even 290, maybe even 300 before earnings. Now, if this thing breaks below 240, then in that case, watch out for 223. And from there, it can go much, much lower. So I would not go and play this with earnings. But if you get in, try to get out before that earnings because, theta decay and IV will crush, all your profit if you're holding this through earnings. And these are short-term calls or puts you're buying on Tesla. On Apple stock, it was up 4% on Friday. So Apple, I mean, this play here, I'm not gonna show you guys, but I'll maybe play it in another video. Apple, we're still holding and we're long on Apple stock. We did take profit on that massive rally last week right here, close to 200, and left pretty much half of my position. That's 200 contracts that is sitting on the sideline for more upside. And why? Because earnings coming up, I have time. I can hedge against this earnings, but we still have a couple more weeks left. And with that sort of news that came out that there will be no tariff on phones and chips and some of the electronics, guess what? I'm expecting a gap up here on Apple Monday. That can happen if this thing gets over 200, possibly fills this gap, and starts moving. The next level to watch 207, and then game on for this gap here just under 221 right here. So watch out. Apple might be, making a big move before earnings. And there were a lot of calls coming in for Apple, guys, last week, especially Friday. So, somebody knew something and they always, they know everything. We just buy based on technicals. And we bought the dip because it was getting far too overextended. I did show you guys before RSI on Apple, guys, so don't say I didn't talk about it. And now Apple is up. RSI was down here, and I had to tell you guys that when was the last time you saw Apple RSI 20? We couldn't really find anything in last maybe 15 months or so. And from there, I mean, this thing went ballistic. I mean, look at the move, guys. 169. Now you're talking about 200 plus almost. It already got over 200, came back. So 198 holds. We can close this gap and hold over this level. Definitely 207, and then maybe even 221 to 220. This gap gets filled before earnings, and that's going to be massive, massive profit for myself and my Patreon members. So, hopefully we can crush it. With half of my position that I'm holding on Apple, and it's already green. It's not like it's red. It's already green. We're just trying to get more and more profit on that play. To the downside, if this thing comes back, key level to watch right here, 190 below that, and you can see it came down pretty much down here to this 5-day moving average. That's 188 and then 183 on Apple. On Amazon stock, it's up 2%. So Amazon, there is still a move that you can catch to the upside easily up to this 199 to 200. And why? We got a gap here, we got another gap here. We also will have earnings from Amazon very soon. So Amazon here, if you look at my screen, came down to 180, got slightly under, but look at the closing here, guys, over 184, almost 185. So going into Monday's session, if this thing gaps up to 190 plus, and if this thing opens below 190, in that case, watch out for 190 to break. Over 190, this thing can move easily up to 200 to close this gap, 199.28. To the downside, 184 breaks, 180, and then 173. On Google, stock is up 2.59%. So Google is another one. I've been calling this bullish falling wedge. I'm going to take it off my screen because already broke out. And you can see, this thing is moving rapidly. Now, if we can get over this 162 range, possibly closes this gap at 163.85, then watch out, game on for a move up to 170, maybe even 176 on Google. To the downside, critical support to watch, 155. We did hold on Friday, so that's going to be a level to watch, possibly a dip buying zone. But below that, this thing can come down all the way down to 148. On AMD, it's up 5.30%. So AMD also making a big move. And you can see we got this massive bullish engulfing candle. We kind of retraced halfway down there. And now we're pulling back up once again to the upside. So if this thing can hold, we also have earnings coming up next month. AMD can hold over, I would say right here, $88, 5-day moving average, and can get over this candle right here, which is about $98. So, I would say not only 98, we need to get over 100. Close this gap and stay over 100, then game on for a move up to 104 and maybe even up to this gap just under 110 before earnings. Now, AMD comes down and takes out $88. In that case, it can go much, much lower, possibly down to this low down here, 84, and then maybe even flat 80 down here to this lower Bollinger Band. On Meta, it was actually down 0.5%, nothing big. But if you look at my screen, why we had that rejection? Clearly this downtrend, we got that rejection, came back, and now it's holding over 538. So Meta, we also have earnings coming up end of this month. If this thing is able to hold 538, we might see a push up to right here, this high right here, 558, and over that we might even retest this trend line, which is around 570, and then we have negative sloping 20-day at 574. Over that level, 600 is definitely on the card on Meta. To the downside, 538 gives up. We might be coming back all the way down to this high right here. That's going to be 517, and then flat 500, close to this lower Bollinger Band. And from there, it can go much, much lower, possibly down to these lows near 480. So Netflix was slightly down on Friday, 0.31%, nothing big. And if you look at my screen, we had that big pop also on Netflix over 936, got a rejection, came back and holding over 904. So your key line is in 904 to 900. Underneath that level, you'll see a flush down to 860, maybe even 842. And we talked about it before. I made a lot of money on Netflix, shorting this thing right here on this move to the downside. And now with earnings, I got out completely. I'm not holding anything, and it is next week, guys. We also have this head and shoulder pattern. So far it's not breaking down, but I think with earnings, if there is anything bad that comes out of this earnings, it can go down rapidly. So I would not gamble on a stock like Netflix, especially at 900. If it was down to like 300-400, maybe I would go and buy some shares, but too expensive, too high at this point. Yes, we had a mini correction, but nothing significant when you look at elsewhere like Apple and Microsoft. This thing is still near and we were just there almost $1,000 few days ago. We came back now. So Netflix definitely not worth playing. Just watch and see what the stock does after earnings. On Microsoft, it's up 1.86%. So this thing definitely, just getting that big pump to the upside. And you can see we did not even pretty much stay down here for too long. On Thursday's session, we came down, but the dip was bought up. A lot of buying here, went back up, and now just under 390. We also have earnings coming up end of this month. on the 30th of April. So this thing could be moving higher. If we can take out this 50-day moving average right here, guys, not only 390, we need to get over 393.59. In that case, game on for a move up to 400, possibly 405 to 413. Now to the downside, key level to watch 384, 379, and if that gives up all the way down here, 374. So before we get to Nvidia, I want to talk about SPY here for just maybe a minute or two. And why? Because people are missing out on a lot of opportunities in the market and talking about a big bear. Last Monday, guys, I mean, over the weekend, last week, I'm talking about last Sunday and Saturday. Pretty much everyone was out there just saying that Black Monday, 1987, just crash, crash, crash. And maybe one or two video, maybe even three or four, not too many, including mine, that says buy the dip and face ripper rally is coming. You can type in and you will see that video on my channel. And boy oh boy, did we get a massive face ripper in the market, and we continued with that face ripper on Friday. Now, why I'm actually bringing this up, because when the market is going down, and especially when market is down 20-25%, people think, oh, this is it, it's going down more. But you're forgetting that it's already down 20-25%. So it's time to move on and get that dip. And if you're not getting that dip, you're not going to be making money like we did. You'll be just lost, because now big pump on Wall Street already over the weekend. And if that rally actually stays up, that move stays up going into futures market on Sunday night and staying into pre-market Monday, bears, they're gone. They're going to be decimated. So, why I have this chart here, you can see this was the trading range on Friday. And I kept watching this because it was coming back right here. And look at this trend line. It was finding buyers. How many times? How many times? Look, many, many times. And then we pushed higher. Now, where can things come? Well, if you look at my screen, around 530, 529, that's going to be the zone to see if there is a pullback Monday, which I don't know. Again, we might be gapping up on Monday. There is still a massive gap on top. I think we need to go up about another $25 to close that gap. So huge, huge upside potential. And, these people just spreading fear out there and robbing people out of profit, because I don't think this is actually a clear double bottom here. And who knows, I might be wrong, but with my experience, this double bottom plays out, and so far is playing out. We might not be coming down, and especially down to this level, 480, guys. So I mean, big dip, big opportunity. A lot of people missed out. I even had one or two comment in my video, oh, I got puts, and these were like near the lows where I was talking about buying the dip and the face ripper, and someone goes by like this. I think market is going down for next 3 weeks, and then market will bottom. I have puts. I'm up $200, and the rest was history, because the next day market just boom. You can see. I mean, $50+ move to the upside. That is not a small move in the market, guys. Now let's talk about Nvidia, and that's why I wanted to talk about SPY, because just blindly going in and shorting everything and a big bear, it's not gonna work, because things are not really working in their favor. Now let's turn on these 200 SMA and the 50. So Nvidia was up over 3%. We did came down to 107. Again, look at this, perfectly buying opportunity Nvidia gave, and pushed higher. Now the question remains, if this thing can actually hold 107 and get over this candle, which is 115, and maybe even touch 118, this 50-day moving average, and over that, you're going to see a retest of 200-day, which is at 126. Now, Nvidia breaks below 107, then we might see that dump off all the way down to 96 once again on Nvidia. And that is all I have for you guys in this video. I'll be updating these stocks again Monday night. So please don't forget to hit that like button and definitely help us get to 10,000 subscribers. There is a lot of people out here, guys. Lots of people. And if you ask me how I know, YouTube shows that who's watching, who's hitting the like button, who's not, and all that. There's a lot of people just watching and not subscribing. So, I mean, it takes only a second. Just hit that subscribe button and help this channel get to 10,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend and see you guys Monday.